Bunmi, the crystal host today. And yeah, welcome everybody. And I'd just like to say before I even start is, thank you very much for all you folks that had voted for me. I was pleasantly surprised. I was absolutely amazed. But thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. And it's the first award I've ever won. So I was like really chuffed. So it's really awesome for me and it's really humbling for me, and I'm very, very privileged to be on this show. And this is all down to Marina Nanny, who, encouraged me to come on. She listened to my live streams about crystals, and she encouraged me to come on, and I'm very, very thankful to her. And yeah, we had an amazing awards ceremony last Saturday. Again, last Sunday, I was humbled. There's amazing speakers there. There was people telling their truths, their passions, and the passions that have been turned into a business, just like myself. So I was just very, very honoured to be around those people. So it was a pretty emotional ceremony, and I'm looking forward to next year's as well. So yes, so I'm Bunmi, and yeah, if you'd have asked me 8 years ago if I'd be talking on a radio show about crystals and crystals for business, I'd have laughed my socks off because, I'm a dentist by profession. I'm a dental surgeon of 30 years, and I've got a science background. So I thought, no chance. But here I am today, espousing the benefits of crystals. And back in 2008, everything changed for me, all of it changed for me. We're amidst the financial crisis and the banking collapse, and I had my my own almost meltdown. I was going through, pretty bad divorce. There's lots of personal challenges, and I was just, working harder and harder. I didn't realize that I was burning out. So my to-do list got bigger, I got more stressed and more anxious. I had two little boys to look after, profession, the business, and I just couldn't see beyond the horizon. I was totally nervous, totally depressed, and I needed help. And I was very reluctant to go down the Prozac route. I didn't want to take medication. I really fought tooth and nail not to do that. And then a friend of mine sort of said, why don't you go and see this, crystal healer? And I thought, what? Are you kidding? What I immediately thought was hippie, woo woo, and just plain out there. So, I wasn't having it at the time. I thought, no chance. So a few weeks later, I did relent because I wasn't getting any better on my own, and I couldn't do this on my own. I couldn't get well on my own. I was losing a ton of weight. I wasn't sleeping well. It was just horrible. I was in a very, very, very bad place. So I decided to try this healer. So after a few sessions with Anna, who's now a very dear friend of mine, it started to turn my life around. And from then on, I was a convert. I couldn't believe that you could harness the power of crystals for your well-being, your health, your vitality. I was amazed by, I always thought crystals were just baubles, jewelry, something you put, trinkets, but they actually had properties. And these crystals actually started to help me to create a life that I always wanted, as well as getting well. And so after that, I lived and breathed crystals. I became a healer myself. And what resonated with me was the science behind crystals worked, and how crystals worked. And as a scientist, I found it just made complete sense. So I got even more curious, and and I thought, if it's great for healing mind and body and spirit, what else can these crystals do? So, they manifest all kinds of abundance, right? That's what I always hear. Crystals manifest abundance, whether it's love, whether it's health, and yeah, wealth. So it got me thinking, what if crystals worked on my business, to attract ideal clients and financial abundance? And I started to think, wow, okay, so these crystals have helped me to get well. There must be certain crystals that will attract abundance. So I read up about it, and I started to use them in my day-to-day life, but also within my business, which I did more and more. And I found things like intuition, my intuition increased. There was more synchronicity. I was seeming to meet the right people at the right time, people I need for a particular task in my business. And that was becoming more and more frequent in a very short space of time. So I was quite amazed, really. And business opportunities came out of nowhere. And all this made me realize how powerful crystals were, how, we harness them in many ways. And what we do harness them in is in technology. Our computers have, microchips, watches, have the silicon quartz, radio transmitters, lasers have the ruby, and that list goes on. So I just realized that crystals are not only just used for technology, health and well-being, but yeah, we can do it for attracting abundance. So crystals have lots and lots of areas where we can use them in. And so since then, I've gone to work, to work with other professionals to help them in their businesses. And I know if you have a business, and you want to use, crystals to supercharge your goals, intentions, I'll give you my top 5 crystals to look into, and it'd be worth it because they've really worked for me and they've worked for my other clients as well. I do what I call a grid, but I won't go into that today because that's kind of an ancient, powerful art which uses sacred geometry and crystals. But put it simply, anybody can use crystals for well-being, for health and wealth. So, if you're a business person or you want to attract more financial abundance within your home life, this is what I would suggest. Citrine, and that's known as the merchant stone. And you can put this in your cash register, or you put it on your work desk. But citrine helps you to manifest creative ways of inviting abundance. So, we can get very creative. Sometimes when we're tunnel visioned, we don't get to see what other opportunities there are. So it helps you get creative, lateral thinking, an expansive thought. And this stone is full of, really positive sun energy. It's a happy stone. So it'll also give you a happy vibe if you're feeling a bit low or your self-esteem's low. Look into citrine because that's amazing. I gave them all out at the awards ceremony on Sunday, and I got some instant feedback on how, it made people feel. And in any business, it does attract positive outcomes. So if you're dealing with, say, negotiating, or you're negotiating on contracts, for instance, with citrine, just consider it done. It will help you in those ways. Then we're looking at tiger's eye, the eye of the tiger. That's what I call it, and that's an asset to any business. It stimulates that part of your brain that expands your awareness and the ability to assess and understand your situation. So it keeps you grounded and it promotes, balance. And that's what we need. We need to be grounded, balanced, down to earth, see things for what they are. But best of all, tiger's eye is great for bringing in and hanging on to money, which is what we all want, is to hang on to money. Then we've got garnet. That's a beautiful red, deliciously red stone. It's like a blood red stone. And this is a very lucky stone, and it brings energy and a higher self-esteem, really. It really brings your self-esteem up. It's a stone of intense feeling. So many civilizations used garnet to increase awareness and bring creative powers. And this stone was often worn in the breastplate of the high priestess. So garnet is often used to improve business relationships, prevent money losses, and being the stone of commitment, garnet will help you stay on task and complete your goals. And as business people, that's so important to have strategy and keep consistent and keep committed. So garnet is the one for you. And then we're going on to sunstone. And sunstone, again, is a bit like citrine. It's known as the abundant stone, and it's a joyful one. And wearing it will bring you what you need and desire, and will bring high energy to you throughout the day. So it gives you that lovely, happy vibe again. Stick it in your pocket, stick it in your jacket pocket. You can have it as a necklace, and if you are starting on an online business, for instance, keep this stone next to your computer to increase success. If you happen to be a procrastinator, I'm a bit like that. Wearing sunstone will definitely help you stay on task. And the last one I'm going to talk about is green aventurine. And this is known as the stone of opportunity. Now, green aventurine is the luckiest of all stones. And those that like to gamble, which I hope not many of you do, wear it in their jewellery or carry it in their pocket, as it improves the odds. But eventually, it can also help relieve you of your old habits, old thinking habits, and lead you to new opportunities. So if you try to avoid change, this stone will help you to embrace it. Um, with all the stones, I would say to you, don't forget to cleanse it before you use it of unwanted energies. Crystals take in all sorts of energies, and if you've just bought one, definitely run it under the water, under running water, with the intention of it being cleared of unwanted energies, so that it'll really help the crystals to work well with you. And that's really important. They need to work at the optimum. So I love them, and you can program them and sort of say, look, please help me to attract financial abundance. Please help me to find the ideal clients, great opportunities. So I would say, yeah, have a look at those stones, which is citrine, tiger's eye, garnet, sunstone, green aventurine. They've definitely helped me in my business, and they've helped my clients as well. But in the next few series, I'll be talking about other things as well. So business, I'll be talking about attracting love, how to have a lovely household. Crystals are used for so many different things. So I just want to bring that, into the fore. And I hope you've enjoyed this, and any business peeps out there, have a look at those stones. They're amazing. And you can also pop all these little stones in a vase and make it a lovely display in your office or in reception, and just to invite those lovely energies in. You've got a lovely energy shield around your business, attracting all positive things. So anyway, that's me for today. Thank you very much. It's Bunmi Abuaba. If you want to get in touch with me, it's bunmiabuaba.com. bunmiaboaba.com. So enjoy, whether it's in the morning, afternoon, or evening. Have a lovely one. Have a blessed day, everybody. Take care, and see you next Monday. Bye.